Hello, D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. Let's go back a bit. There's some time periods to discuss briefly, and I'll just use the current state of Utah as an example. History goes back to Spanish contact, and prehistory, or late prehistoric period, is around 1250 AD to European contact. Now let's go back farther, and we have the Archaic period. This period of time is roughly 7000 BC to 500 BC. The period of time between the late Archaic and late prehistoric period has a couple of very interesting cultures in Utah, the Fremont and the ancestral Puebloan. Now even farther back, this time is known as the Paleo-Indian period, which dates from around 11,000 BC to 7,000 BC. This is the period of first humans in Utah and the Americas in general, or so it's said. The human timeline in the Americas may very well go back farther than that. So think about where you are currently located and try to imagine what the world was like in that location 13,000 years ago. Fascinating, huh? In Utah, 13,000 years ago, the land had a much wetter climate than it currently does. Lots of marshes and lakes, larger animals as well. Utah has quite a few documented Paleo-Indian sites all over the state, and it is covered in documented archaic sites. So when I head out into the high desert and look for prehistoric archaic camps, the odds are pretty good I'm going to come across something. So I hope you'll join me as I head out into the desert and discover what once was. All right, it is early morning and excuse me, I am in the high Utah desert, or I should say higher than what I'm usually in, or what you've seen mostly in the videos I've produced thus far. So what's happening is, coming out of winter, getting into late spring, temps are rising in the lower desert, which is going to push me out. It's just, I don't like being out there when it's 100 degrees. I've learned this, so I'm gonna have to kind of pivot the channel a little bit, and I decided to try, basically I did a test video a couple days ago, and I just put up a short reel, or a short is what it's called. It was just a 60-second clip, and what I did, I was out here already, just briefly. I came out in the afternoon, and I was only out here for a couple hours, but I came across some things, and what I've been out here looking for are prehistoric hunting camps, and I found evidence, and I found some points, and the short did really well, did surprisingly well enough that I decided I'd make more of a fuller video on that topic. So I've returned, obviously, and as you can see, I'm in a little different scenery. I'm up in the hills now and a little higher elevation, hopefully for some cooler weather. However, it was hot that day. We ran into a snake, and you know, it is what it is. So if this video does okay, then I'll add this into the normal, or what I've been accustomed to doing, looking for ruins, looking for rock art, and I'll do some of this as well because it's all very interesting. So the older cultures that were in this area after the Archaic period were the ancestral Puebloan or Anasazi and the Fremont cultures. Now, I'm not sure where that border lies, because those two cultures were in the area at the same time. They probably fought each other, but I think I might be in Fremont territory, or just at the northernmost boundary of the ancestral Puebloan territory. I'm not 100% sure on that, but before that, then we're into the Archaic period, and before that, we're into the Paleo-Indian period. So hopefully all that's made sense, but I'm learning as well, so I'm sure I'm making mistakes here and there, but like I said, I'm learning. So I appreciate you letting me run my mouth for a second. It's kind of a lot to put together, but I'm gonna just take my time here in this particular area and have a good look and see if we come across anything. Like I said, I have one artifact I want to show in a few moments, but we're going to take advantage of the cool morning, and that means the snakes are going to be low. We're going to have a good look in this area, then we're going to move to someplace else. And I should also state, if I do come across something, I'm not keeping it. I pretty much just leave it out here because I can't keep it. That is illegal because I'm not on private land. However, I don't really come across anything too crazy, or most of the stuff's broken and fractured or things like that. But if I ever come across something of like extreme significance or importance, I'll contact the appropriate people and let them know where it is, and they can do their thing. So that's how I'm rolling. Oh yeah, look at this flake there. Big flakes. Oh, got a piece, got a point. I'm gonna switch to a different camera real quick. All right, here we go. Let's have a look at that. Got the sun there. And you can obviously see this piece has been worked. And it's fractured. So this might have been quite a bit larger. I'm not 100% sure, but you can see how it's been worked. It's pretty fine, actually. This would might be a knife blade. I'm not 100% sure, but it's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool point there. So I'm wondering if that material is chert. And we'll just leave that where I found it. So we were just down in this area having a look where I found that point, and now I'm coming up into an area. This is a nice flat spot. It's a rise, and it's a great vista, 360 degrees. So I have an artifact that I found up here a couple days ago. I know exactly where I left it, so I wanted to go have another look at it, and then I'm going to move on and I'm going to search some of this area in here. This looks pretty good right over here. And I get this comment quite a bit. Do you ever run into snakes? Yes, we run into snakes frequently. As a matter of fact, I was up here a couple days ago. I put a short up about this. We both came across a very pissed off gopher snake. It's a non-venomous snake, no problems, but it was interesting nonetheless. And we do run into rattlesnakes. So it's still nice and cool right now, but it's going to warm up here in a couple hours. Snakes are going to get active. We very well may have another encounter, especially in this rocky terrain like this. It is an ideal habitat for both venomous and non-venomous snakes. This is what they like. Gives them cover from above. Let's go on up on this rise and check out that artifact. Now this is an interesting spot here. It's like completely flat. And now I just got to find the artifact. All right, so I'm going to switch to a different camera once again for better zoom in quality. Okay, this is where I left it. Now, this material looks almost like it's quartz, but this is where I found it up here. And it looks like maybe The inside here has been worked a little bit, but it's pretty big, as you can see in my hand. I don't know. It's really interesting. It's been shaped into a point. Maybe it was never finished. I'm not sure, but this is an interesting piece. Is it spectacular? Well, no, not like as far as like museum quality, but it's spectacular that a human worked on this, and more than likely worked on it thousands of years ago, like probably well into the archaic period. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I think it's just very, very interesting. What do you folks think? All right, so I've kind of wandered into the Juniper Forest here. I'm not coming across anything. So, oh, wait a minute. Here we go. That's lithic, well, here we go. Lithic material here. Just as I say that, it's funny. There it is. Whoa, this is pretty cool. It's not an artifact, but check this out. What? Oh my God, look at that. I need to put that on the hood of my truck. Oh, wow, that's great. I'm back down in the area I started at and kind of did a thorough search up in here. Didn't find much, but one thing I know for certain is that where I'm currently standing, there's lots of lithic material. So there were people right here a long time ago making tools. And that's about as much as I know. Okay, I think my last stop for the day is going to be up around these rock formations here and kind of this little depression back here. I don't know, it's good protection from the elements up in there. Might not be anything, but there might be something. So this is just part of it, going out, investigating. So time suck. It takes a lot of time to do this, and most often it turns up not much. So however, I think today's been pretty cool. We've come across some interesting things. Oh, look at that. There's more. All right, well, I'm starting to feel okay about this now. There's more flaked obsidian. Wow, I just came across 2 good pieces of obsidian. First one, oh man, that's a oh gosh, so close. That would have been the tip up here. This is oh man, that probably would have been like that. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, there's a piece over here. I don't think that's the same. No. Oh gosh. But that's a pretty sweet piece right there. So this is like the middle of a, man, I'd say spear or knife blade. That is really impressive. So this would have been pretty big. So I could definitely, well, I can't definitely say it, but I feel like it would have been from the archaic time period. I could be wrong, of course. I'm not a professional in this, but this is a pretty cool piece here. Oh, the chances of finding like a whole obsidian piece like this is really rare. So I'm lucky to find something like this because it works its way out of the ground, and obviously not just deer, but there's lots of cattle in the area, and over the years, you know, they're just going to come by and stomp on it. But I think both these pieces, oh wow, dang it, so close, but look at that, isn't that great? Oh. The ground is covered in lithics. So all these white flakes are from toolmaking. So, still a possibility to come across something really cool. So look at this stone I just found. What? I'm under the impression this side here has been worked a little bit. You can see it. And this has been knocked off. Let me switch hands here. So honestly, this is a solid chunk. My thumb fits right in there perfectly. I think this is a tool. Look at that side. It's smooth. Yeah. Wow. I could be completely wrong, but this looks like some type of tool. Man, it's heavy. This would have been... Look at that. Wow. What do you guys think? I mean, this thing fits my hand perfectly. Look at this. Well, I think this is some type of tool. And it just happens to be in an area that the ground is covered with lithic debris. So, yeah, man. How interesting. So I just found this little sliver of obsidian, and I'm really zoomed in because I want to show the detail of how well this thing has been worked. Look at that. Obviously this is a fractured piece, but this is pretty incredible. It has been finely worked. Gosh, yeah. So all I'm finding are broken pieces, but this area is definitely a very, very interesting spot. A lot of lithic debris, so I'm presuming lots of tool production occurred here. I just came across this nice obsidian piece, and this looks to be like maybe a scraper perhaps, or a knife blade, but yeah, pretty interesting. Lots of obsidian in this area. Okay, well, I just heard thunder, and as you can see, I got storms coming from everywhere. Thunder's coming back that way. There it is. Big thunderhead. So we're actually supposed to have weather moving in, and I don't want to get caught out here on the dirt road if this just comes down on me, because it'll get nasty. But anyway, this last spot I've searched, the rock outcropping is right up here, and this whole, the whole side of the hill here is just covered in lithic debris. So when I came down, I looked at this area and I thought this would be a great place to set up camp and chill. You can get up high, you can have a look at the surrounding area. I don't know, but a lot of processing was going on over here as far as tool construction. So I'm under the impression this probably was some type of intermittent camp here, just from all the evidence all over the place. I didn't see anything that would suggest like long-term living, like you know, ruins of any types, but it could be buried. So I can't say for certain. All I can say is what I saw on the ground, and what I saw was lots and lots of evidence of tool making. So I think we've seen some pretty cool stuff today, and I'll continue on with this. We'll see how this video does, see what you folks think. You know, let me know in the comments, of course. But I'm going to get out of here before the weather starts, and we'll see you next time. Lots more content to come. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It's free, helps us out tremendously. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out. Adios.